I am so tired of seeing interior design videos just tailored towards rich people. I'm like, they don't need these videos. They're not here on YouTube. They have a luxury interior designer that they're paying $100,000. What about interior design for normal people? So in today's video, I'm going to share some 2024 interior design trends for the non-rich person, for the average person, because everyone deserves a beautiful home. And I'm gonna break down the trends, and some of them are gonna be like, are you okay? Like, are you sure you wanna make this video? And yes, I am sure. I'm gonna break it down, and sure, I might rant a little bit, but I think we're gonna have a good time, so let's get into it. So, rich people love performance fabric. I love performance fabric, and I'm gonna tell you, I get most of them for free, and I'm very, very open about that. I don't think I've ever in my life paid for an actual performance fabric because it's expensive. I'm like, this is just glorified fabric, and you literally just put it in like toaster oven full of chemicals, right? So rich people love performance fabrics, and I love the notion of performance fabrics too, because with a performance fabric, you can spill anything on it, you can vomit on it, you can spill a glass of wine on it, you can poop on it. I'm just really listing disgusting stuff right now. You can live your life on the sofa or the chair, whatever, and not ruin it. But performance fabric is so expensive. If you go on like a normal website, you can look at the price of like a non-performance fabric. And then when you click on performance fabric, it goes up by $4,000. And I'm like, what? Hello? What? How do we even get here? So a trend I see happening in 2024 is more people using Scotchgard. I think people are going to take those extra steps when they first get furniture to protect it. We used to have the trend of covering our furniture in plastic, and wow, I am so glad that is over. So we're not covering our furniture with plastic anymore. We're not adorning our furniture with blankets, which I love because that gets expensive too. So we're just gonna take in a little bit of effort to Scotchgard our furniture, because I think the light furniture is still gonna be in. The light textiles are still in. Light in area is still trending, and it's trending big time. But to cater to that, people are going to Scotchgard their furniture. Yes, I think using some spray by Scotch brand is going to be an interior design trend. Mark my words, I truly believe this, because I think it is just going to open up doors when it comes to interior design for people who do not have an unlimited budget. I cannot tell you how often I see people who want a design style but don't want to achieve it, or can't achieve it rather, because their pockets are holding them back from performance fabric. This is a little hack that is going to change the game for you. I guarantee it. Now, rich people right now are loving natural stone slabs. And I don't know, maybe I thought I was super wealthy for a second when I bought natural stone slabs for my kitchen, but I'm telling you, that was really expensive. And Amex and I, you know, so natural stone slabs are really expensive. You're seeing them pop up big time in Architectural Digest, Elle Decor. I love them. They are an investment. They're an investment, hands down. They're gonna cost you upwards of $8,000 if you're getting like 20 square feet of it. Those cost money. So I do not see people, you know, investing in their rental or investing in a property, $8,000 for some countertop that you're just going to get your mac and cheese on or whatever, because we're putting these countertops in our kitchens, right? Same thing goes for a bathroom. Are you really gonna pay all that money for some stone that you might spill some face product on or some contour on? Absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense. Something that I do see people doing to get this natural stone look or to get a more bold look in the kitchen is being more experimental with how they lay their subway tiles. Subway tile is always in. Subway tile is always going to be timeless. If you have a problem with that, catch me outside because you're wrong and I'll fight you on it. I don't care. Subway tile is always going to be in. But instead of just using white, I think people are going to go bolder with color. And I don't just mean black instead of white. That's not bold. That's just the other end of the spectrum. But I see purples and blues and greens, having more fun with tile, having more fun with the sheen of the tile. And I do see people laying the tile in a different shape. So instead of just horizontally, vertically, chevron, herringbone, basket weave, all the different ways that you can put up a subway tile, they're gonna do it. People are gonna do it, and I love it. I think it's very creative, and it's always gonna be timeless. So unless you are very niche in your design and you wanna do like bright yellow tile with like bright orange cabinet fronts, I don't know that that's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but otherwise it still is a very timeless design choice that is going to save a lot of money, because subway tile really truly can be very, very affordable. I'm very excited to see the manifestation of this trend. I think this is a great way to get that bold look for less, because let's just call it a dupe. It's a dupe, right? We're getting the bold look, but we're getting it on a budget. You can always mix and match tiles. You can find subway tile that looks like marble. I found tiles that look like marble for my bathroom. It was still expensive, but it was way cheaper than marble because I wanted the look for less, right? So it can be done, and that's how I think people are going to allude to the bold slabs of stone in their design in 2024. Something that is trending big time in luxury interior design is the closed concept, right? Everyone wanted open concept a few years ago. I wanted open and light and airy and welcoming. And now people are like, well, how dare you rip down that wall? Are you an idiot? How did you get there? It's the same people, so I'm like, why are you being so rude? You did the same thing. But anyway, the closed concept is in again. And no, I don't think anyone is erecting walls because that is expensive, right? We can do these things without spending a lot of money. But I think more closed concepts will continue to trend because people are liking designing rooms in different ways, having multiple design styles, or, tweaking the design styles per room. And it's a lot easier to do that when it is a closed concept. To accomplish the closed concept though, people aren't erecting walls. I think there's going to be better use of paint, plants, and lighting and furniture placement to segment the room. Now, I talk about this all the time. I talk about this a lot over on Instagram, so go give me a follow there if you want to see. But you can use paint, like ways that you paint your walls and your ceiling, and then the placement of your furniture and other like items in your home to really help segment a home so that you get the segmented look, like you have a wall without having to build a wall. And no, you also don't have to build a room divider. And again, whoever decided room dividers are going to be $500, you're canceled. We don't like you. We're done with you. I think people are going to be a lot more aware of how they lay out their rooms so that they can have the different design styles in the different spaces, even if it is one continuous space. Dark, bold colors are trending big time. I kind of alluded to this when I was talking about the kitchens, but that's also happening in terms of paint. And I went and bought paint the other day because I was having a bad day, and I was like, you know what's going to make me feel better? Spending a lot of money at Sherwin-Williams. I went and bought all this paint. I got 5 gallons of paint. It was almost $500. Oh, lots and lots of money. And they didn't even need the 5 gallons of paint. I was like, BFFR. Anyway, dark colors are really in right now. I'm definitely buying into this trend. I'm going to continue because my house has always been a cave except for the living room. So now that the caves are trending big time, I'm like, oh yeah, pop off. It is finally my time. I painted my entire room like a dark brown and I'm living for it. And you're seeing that a lot in luxury interiors. But it's not just about the paint itself being expensive. It's the fact that when you paint something dark and you move, you have to paint it back. Most people rent. Very common. Renting is great, right? So when you rent, a lot of the times you have to paint the walls back. It is so much more time intensive, labor intensive, and cost intensive to paint a wall back from brown to white as opposed to from a lighter color. So I think to incorporate moody colors in the home, instead of having brown trending big time, I think we're going to see green. Green is a color that we've seen start trending a really big time in the luxury spaces and otherwise. So green walls, green kitchen cabinets, green everywhere. I think green is going to be the color that takes off over for non-rich people as opposed to brown, because I think brown is just impractical for spaces that you don't own and spaces that you kind of need to take back to their original whatever. I will also say that when you paint something very dark, you need to compensate for that with a lot of electrical work, and electrical work can be expensive. Honestly, I think green is a better color. It's relaxing, it's cozy, you can wind down in there if you think about how colors kind of make us feel. If you haven't seen my color video, you can click here right now to check it out. But I think green is going to be a color that continues to trend big time. I think people are done with all white walls, but I think we can see all green walls and different variations of green and kind of the monochromatic layered look, which is also coming back big time. I think that's going to be great. Something else I want to say in this video in general is that when you are dealing with luxury interior design versus non-luxury interior design interior design is always like a season or two delayed. So you'll notice that your favorite more affordable stores, they're starting to get those trends now. Those trends that were big in 2020, you're seeing them now because that's how the delay works. Because it is impractical for most people to change their homes all the time. There's something wrong with the luxury interior design. I've contributed to this. I am a part of the problem, and I'm trying to rectify that, and that's part of making today's video. So there's a little bit of a delay there. So don't feel bad that you just bought into one aesthetic and then now that aesthetic is not trending anymore. You're not doing anything wrong. The problem is with the luxury. That is the problem. But that's just a little bit of information for you so that when you're seeing all these trends kind of pop up in your more affordable stores, that's why. This one I have personal beef with because I truly just don't like it, and I'm going to be very transparent about that, which is fine because we can all have our own opinions. But postmodern design has rich people in a freaking chokehold right now. In a chokehold. I don't get it. So if you're not familiar with postmodern design, I'll put some pictures up on the screen. It is very niche. I love that we're using colors and fun shapes, but postmodern design is so incredibly expensive and it is labor intensive to find these items. A lot of these items are vintage, right? Because we're talking about a time period, postmodern. So they're vintage and you have to have the time to go look for vintage items. That takes a lot of time, whether that's looking on Cherish or First Dibs or actually going out to vintage shops or consignment shops. They take a lot of time to procure and it's very expensive. That stuff is so incredibly expensive and you need to know how to put it together. Now, postmodern design, you'll see like a table that looks like an amoeba or something like this, and it's like bright green, or it looks like a Lego, and then they're like $17,000. And I'm like, did you guys make a typo on this? Did you make a typo on this? And the answer is they didn't. They did not make a typo. They're being 100% for real. Now, the way I think we will have an ode to the postmodern is that we will see less and less use of matching furniture sets. So matching furniture sets, you guys, I mean, I've seen lots of people here on YouTube, myself included, read people for filth. Read people for filth for using a matching furniture set, right? Because there's no creativity there, whatever. You've heard this spiel before. I don't need to make you feel bad about it, and no one should make you feel bad. If you like the matching furniture set, buy it. It's not my business. But matching furniture sets, they don't give you as much opportunity for exploration and like the sharing of your personality. So I think people aren't going to buy matching furniture sets, and they'll buy things more piecemeal just so that you can get something more unique, more custom, something that doesn't look like it's right out of the showroom, which I do appreciate. I'll be honest, I love the showroom look. Like, yeah, hello, come into my house. Is this a Macy's? Yeah, it freaking is. Welcome to Macy's. Okay, but a lot of people don't feel that way. So I think the way we're gonna have the ode to the postmodern, and the fact that postmodern has a lot of like mismatched pieces or a lot of pieces from different collections, that's what I think we're going to see here. I think we're actually finally going to abandon the matching furniture set. Something that is coming back big time, and I'm so happy about this because I never left. I left for like 5 minutes and then I came back because I was like, wait, I don't care about these trends. I hate this for me. So something else that's gonna come back is RH Chic. If you're not familiar with RH, we're talking about Restoration Hardware. Restoration Hardware was it. Restoration Hardware is how I got into design. I was in college and I was like, oh, I like this. I cannot afford this, but I like this. So I got into dupes, and then welcome to my house. But RH kind of faded in popularity with the rise of the modern organic and the wabi sabi and the Japandi. And I think people found that like that stuff looks really great, but it ends up being really expensive, and a lot of people just don't live like that. But I think RH Chic is back because it's easy. It's easy, it's clean, it's easy to maintain, and you just need to look at the catalog and follow it. And I'm gonna be honest, when you're not dealing with luxury, here, let me say this better. People who are into luxury interior design hire luxury interior designers, and they're paying them thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to do the thinking for them. So yeah, their house doesn't look like the showroom, but they literally paid someone an arm and a leg to do it. For non-rich people, for the average person, we use catalogs and showrooms to inspire design. And what I love about this is we can look at these catalogs and perfectly emulate it. And I think that resonates with people because you're not technically getting a matching furniture set, but you are getting a guide to interior design. And that's what a lot of people need and a lot of people want, because interior designers are freaking expensive. So I've seen a lot of resurgence of this on social media, and I'm living for it. So I've seen a lot of resurgence of this RH Chic, and I think it's going to come back. Just look at Instagram, look at TikTok. People are loving the really clean lines, the white sofa. I think people are living for it. And again, as I said earlier, a lot of the more affordable furniture companies are selling these things, and I think that's contributing to the resurgence of this design style. So let me know down in the comments, did you ever abandon this design style? If you did, do you wish you hadn't? Let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about it. Now, while I don't think people are loving the modern organic and like the wabi sabi and Japandi as much as they thought they would, I think people are still living for the warmth. People like warmth. You're seeing warm minimalism. That's technically what it's called, so we can call it that. Warm minimalism is trending big time. I think we're gonna see that in the non-luxury market because we can achieve it affordably. Because warm minimalism, it's still the clean lines, all the furniture pieces that are really, really accessible to us, but you can also get accents that are also really accessible, whether that be like a wooden trough or some cutting boards or a wooden coffee table. These elements are a lot more accessible to us, and I think that's the way we're gonna warm up that RH Chic that I was just talking to you about. Even something as simple as like getting like those wooden panels on the floor. If you buy the wooden panels from Wayfair at the price that they sell them, they're really expensive, but can you also go to Home Depot and get a bunch of plywood and cut it and then stain it? Yes, you can, and then you can get the look for less. So I think warmth is making it in, because I think we, again, were really into like that glam style where it was just black, white, and gold, and it was too glitzy, too glamorous, and you felt like you couldn't sit down, and I think warmth is what breaks that up. So I think the warm minimalism is going to seep into the non-luxury market, and I think we're going to appreciate that. I've seen that with my favorite influencers, my favorite designers. They're just adding a touch of brown, right? Whether that be via wood, via velvet, via linen, it doesn't matter. The touch of brown is doing everything to totally transform the space and make it feel like you can actually sit down on the furniture and not like you should sit on the floor, because if you sit on the sofa, someone's gonna throw hands. Last but certainly not least, something I think we're gonna see big in the non-luxury market in 2024 is boucle. Boucle is still in. Boucle is that girl. Boucle is in everything. Boucle is everywhere. I don't know. People love boucle. Boucle has been in. It goes in and out of style. It goes in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out, which is fine. Wow, all I can think about now is In-N-Out. Boucle is extremely popular. The luxury interior designers now are saying, oh, Boucle, disgusting. And I'm like, didn't you just buy a full Boucle sofa? So make it make sense. But Boucle, I think, is still going to be in the non-luxury market. I think it's a really great fabric. I think it hides dirt and debris well. For that reason, I think it's going to work big time. Also, it's really hard to find textured furniture that is affordable. When you think of like a fabric that's not linen or cotton, you can normally only think of like leather and then Boucle. And leather's really expensive and Boucle just isn't. Whether it's real Boucle or faux Boucle, you can get the look for less as opposed to a faux leather, which you can get, but it does tend to scratch really easily and then it looks cheaper. So I think Boucle is still going to be in big time. You have to remember that Boucle doesn't just have to mean cream. You can have brown, you can have gray, you can have blue, you can have so many different types of Boucle. It's just another way to add visual interest to your home. And I don't think we should ever get rid of ways to add visual interest. So Boucle is still going to be big in the non-luxury market in 2024. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I broke down some interior design trends that I anticipate seeing in 2024 for the non-luxury market, or just the market for people who aren't rich. I didn't know how to say that in today's video, but it's not taboo, right? Most people are not rich. I believe that every single person deserves a beautiful home, whether you have a small budget, a tiny budget, no matter where you are in your life, everyone deserves to have a beautiful space. So I wanted to talk about the trends that I see being big and how you can achieve them in your home affordably. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And until next time, have a beautiful day.